What's going on YouTube? It is Texans Take over here, back with another video. In today's video, we are doing a Texans traditional 7-round mock draft trades and everything. Trying to build up capital for this draft as well as the next draft to, take swings and misses and really bolster what next year's draft might be, which is a special class. So we're here with the Texans, obviously going to try to go best player available. Today is April 5th, so it is Easter. I hope everyone had a good Easter weekend as well as an Easter Sunday. Remember what the holiday is for. It's for the Lord, and I hope everyone, cherish that with their friends and their family. And that's why this video is coming out so late. That's exactly what I was doing, but I hope y'all were able to enjoy it as well. And not forget what the roots of the holiday are. So we're going to begin this draft here with the Texans as Mendoza goes one. As always, that seems to be the case with Dylan Thieneman going really early in this draft. He's ranked 11th, but he starts to go really early. Kenyon Sadiq there at 9 is an interesting one. Cardinal Tate drops to 15, but Kenyon Sadiq, someone the Texans could look to trade up for depending on where he falls. Definitely does not fall far enough for us in this draft. Avion Terrell there, Blake Miller, CJ Allen, Omar Cooper, Ty Simpson, Denzel Boston, Caden McDonald, and Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Here at 28, I think it could be nice to move to like 30, if that was a possibility. Um, but no one's interested in this first round pick. Um, and I think if you're here at 28 and Keldric Faulk's available, I know people say edge isn't a need, but I mean, you can't pass on the talent that Keldric Faulk has. 9 sacks the year previous, one of the best run defenders in the league. And you look at that height, that weight. If he can develop behind Daniil Hunter and be that right edge, while you have Will Anderson Jr. on the left hand side, then you have your Daniil Hunter replacement for the years to come. And I think he's a really exciting player. I think he's a really fun one to analyze. Obviously, Caden Proctor is intriguing. Obviously, Peter Woods is intriguing. But I don't like the trade down options that we do have. And it's hard, really hard, not to go with Keldric Faulk here. Um, but, you know, we are a team that's going to go best player available. I think Keldric Faulk is definitely the best player available. When we don't have that backup edge rusher really to give leeway to Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter, which keeps him healthy the entire season. Um, so you know what? I'm gonna put the pick in there. I think some people might not like it, but I think it does make a lot of sense for the Texans to go with someone like that. And a guy that had 9 sacks in the SEC in 2024 as a sophomore. Only 2 sacks this year, but one of the best run defenders in the game. And I think, we'll develop into the player that um, the Texans would like him to become. We're really good at developing our edge rushers. And I think if he learns behind Daniil Hunter, then that's certainly something interesting. Here at 38, though, I am going to actually take this trade down with the Bengals. Maybe something like this or this. No, I'll do a 5th next year. So we'll do this with the Bengals, 60% chance of going through. We're going to move down 3 spots, pick up an extra pick, and hope that Lomu and Pregnon both don't go. Whoever doesn't go is the one we're going to take. And it's going to be Lomu, a guy that I think could slide inside to guard. He could also play right tackle for you if you want to play Braden Smith at guard. But you do have your starting offensive line. I think this is a guy that you can just develop. You can see how young he is. He's going to be a really reliable starter for you, but if you really want him to develop, you certainly could do that. And I think a good spot for the Texans to find guys that can develop is here in the second round, and I think Caleb Lomu does just that. So we're going to go with him here at 41 and then pick again at 59, which we do have in real life. As Josiah Trotter goes there, Jadarian Price is available, which is interesting to me. But I think, again, it might be a trade down spot. I like the idea of a Mike Washington Jr. in Houston, and I like the idea of a Grayson Holton. So I want picks in that range more than anything. I like Keelan Rutledge too as a developmental player. So we're gonna try to get into the 70 range. We'll go. I mean, if you can pick up something like this, then I think that's a really nice package, and we'll try to do that. And that does go through. So just like that, you pick up a lot of draft capital there. And Jadarian Price is available at 69. I just don't think that's a player you can pass up on. Yeah, if he's available there, Mike Washington Jr. is off the board. I think this is a guy you can just bring in and, give him the carries that you want him to. He's going to be an established back as soon as he jumps into the NFL. So I think that gives you a lot of dynamicism on the offense. So considering he fell all the way to 69, I think you just have to put that pick in. Zachariah Branch goes there, someone I do really like, but I think Grayson Holton here might be the pick. And then you might also want to Steelers at 76. 110, and you give us 216 and a fifth next year. Nope. What if I give you sixth next year? I'll give you our sixth. So a 3-pick swap here just to move back up to where I want to be. So we're gonna pick back to back. We're gonna go with Grayson Holton here, and then with 76, I think we are going to go with we have our developmental guard or tackle, whatever you want it to be. You have your 3 tech, you have your backup edge, you have your running back. I think you're looking at tight end here, and I think Max Clare definitely does fit that bill. But considering Connor Liu already went, maybe you want to go center, and you can go with the Jake Slaughter here. And maybe trading up was not the right idea, but maybe if you trade up to trade back. Or, no, these are the picks I just got. Trade up to trade back could certainly be something you look at. Like if you can get something like this from the Packers for next year, I think you try it out. Okay, not that entirely. Well, if I give you a sixth, can you give me back a fifth? No? Okay. So we're picking here at 76, and I think we are just going to pull the trigger on a Max Clare here, and then I can trade up if I need to for center. Sam Roush goes there. Big Citrus goes there. We'll go. I did not mean to go that far. We're not going to risk it any longer. We're going to trade up with the Cowboys here. Pick up a next year's 7th, maybe. That should really go through, and it does. And we'll go with Jake Slaughter here. I like Logan Jones, but I think Jake Slaughter is easily one of the better players available. And we don't have a pick in round 4, which is a little annoying, but given what we've done in this draft, I don't really mind. It's gone excellent so far. You've gotten your backup edge, who's going to be your starter. You've gotten your backup tackle guard, whatever you want it to be, who can develop. You've gotten your running back, who can be your RB3, he can be your RB2. He's going to compete with Woody Marks right away. You've gotten your 3 tech that can come in and start. You've gotten your tight end who can be your tight end 2. You've gotten your center that can come in and compete. And I think you could look to slot wide receiver here. I really like the idea of a Kevin Coleman in Houston. I've mocked this a lot. And I hope it does come to fruition. It doesn't seem like the Texans are too interested, but for my own personal biases, I am going to go with Kevin Coleman here. So you get your guy that can come in and potentially be a slot receiver, dependent on what you view Jalen Noel, or if Jalen Noel gets hurt, it's always good to have a backup, and I don't think you can lean on Tank Dell right away. So there's that. Here at 216, though, I mean, Oscar Delp's available. I don't think that's going to be the truth in real life, but maybe you look at someone like Micah Morris to be a developmental piece. Tyler Onyedem, I know the Texans really like. You're just looking for guys to come in and compete. You could look at a Jalen Husky, who I also like. I'm gonna go with Tyler Onyedem here, and then we'll see what we decide to do come this next pick at 243. I believe if Jalen Husky's available, it's going to be my pick there. We didn't go with a linebacker, which might concern some people, but maybe we look at Eric Gentry there. But yeah, Jalen Husky goes right there, of course. So if we look at the linebackers here, I like Leonard Barton, I like Jimmy Rolder, I like Wade Woodaz, and I'm going to cap it off by going with Jimmy Rolder, guy I really like out of Michigan. So quick and easy mock draft here on Easter. I do hope y'all really enjoyed it. See what our grade is: A, B plus, A, C plus, A minus, B minus, B minus, C plus, and it's an A minus. I think that's very fair. I think the best pick here is actually Keldric Faulk, and that's going to be underrated. I know a lot of people are going to see that as controversial, but just trust me when I say this dude's a beast. He's going to be a monster in the NFL. So yeah, just trust me when I say the film and the stats from 2024 show how good of a player Keldric Faulk is. So yeah, I do hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, and as always, it's Texans Takeover, and I'm out. Peace.